What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened and the DDA beta. I am here on the campaign Ancient Mines map on Insane difficulty. This is one of the new maps added into the game, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. One thing can be said, in my opinion, about DDA is the maps do indeed look beautiful. Now, we're on Insane mode, so we do have build timers, so we're going to have to jump right to it. However, the campaign maps are relatively easy to get through, although it does have the build timers. The first wave, of course, you're going to start off with so little mana that you really can just burn through the mobs yourself and collect that mana up and then prepare for your build. So as we take a look at this one, we do have one core and we've got 3 gates. There's one over there, there is one right there, and one up over here. Now just taking a look around some of the map and some of the background scenery that we get. Now this map, although it does have this wide open area here, it doesn't have any flyers on it, and that makes life a little bit easier. Taking a look through just this side of the map, just to show you all what some of the new maps could potentially look like. We've got another area, a nice backdrop. You see the mine carts and everything over there. The map itself looks fantastic. I know there's been a lot of talk about the character models, and I would have to agree with most of it. I'm a big fan of the DD2 character models. These, of course, are not completely done. And although I'm not necessarily stoked about the character models at all, the worlds and the environments just look absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and get this map started and see what we can do. Now with one player, we're going to start off with a 45-second build time. I'm using some Squire blockades here. We're all extremely familiar with those. And I think for wave 1, I'm probably just going to drop those Squire blockades and call it good and DPS the rest of the map myself. You know, maybe I will throw one. Let's throw an electric aura right, say, here to help from that map. Now, granted, I have been grinding the game. I am way overgeared for the campaign maps that are available to us right now. So, although this build may or may not work out for you, it's just kind of me having some fun and showing off one of the new maps that hit the Dungeon Defenders Awakened beta. Now we see we've got just seconds left. I am going to play actively on the Monk, and I've been focused very heavily on the number 1 ability, which is a tower boost. I gotta say, I like the tower boost from Dungeon Defenders 1 much better. However, you can't deny the tower boost power here. I'm not spec'd into it at all. This is my ability number 1, and it's just super, super strong. And we'll see the power of that as we go. Now, one thing you will notice right away, as with, you know, I guess any game, there is definitely stuff that just feels strong, particularly really early in the game before you get stats. Now, in DDA, that is without a doubt like the explosive traps or proximity mine traps, depending on if you're a DD1 or DD2 fan. They are very, very strong very early in game at level 1 with nothing added onto them. In addition to that, the Flame Burst Tower, you all remember the Flame Burst Tower. DD1 has it, and DD2 had it for a little while before it was converted into the Flamethrower. It just feels really strong early game as well. So I'm going to go with some Flame Burst Towers. You know, I think I'm just going to share auras on this lane. Now that's one of the benefits, of course, you get once you get a little bit of gear, you get a little better range, and you're able to split the range. Or you're able to split lanes with one aura in some cases. I'm going to go with a Lightning Strike aura and a Strength Drain aura right here. I didn't get a Strength Drain on this side yet. Now we see the build timer is ticking away. I think I'm just going to go with this for the rest of the wave. I'll pull up that mana and we'll build it all out after wave 2. So let's just go ahead and get the combat phase started here. And really, like I said, the abilities on the heroes are strong, so by all means, don't be shy with the abilities. Use them, and you're going to just steamroll these mobs, even with the build timers, if you're not familiar with them. Now, obviously, all DD1 players are very familiar with the build timers. DD2 players, not so much, except for Mastery Mode, really. And the build timers can be intimidating for some. I've gotten a lot of comments about them, but really it's all about just learning the map and learning the build, and then the build timer is not anywhere near a big deal to you at all. Now let's see, we've got a little slow roll here, it seems, with the mobs coming out. Here we go, here's a fresh batch of baddies. Now on the monk, I've got a tower boost and a hero boost as the two abilities. And that's the number 1 and the number 2. Of course, the number 1 is going to be the skill stat. The number 2 is going to be the boost stat. So if you want to focus on, say, tower boosting, you're going to want the skill stat on your heroes. Now, as I mentioned, I've just been using it. This guy is really mainly set up as a builder. I am using a prop cat. The prop cat you get from Deeper Well Survival Wave 15. And it does give you a very nice damage boost. The prop cat is going to pretty much double your damage output. It's not exactly double, but it's right there at it. And prop cat is just a beast. Alright, now we got plenty of mana. Let's go ahead and switch it up to an apprentice. And let's check out a couple of these just bad boy flame burst towers. And what else can we get? Let's throw... You know what? Let's throw a lightning tower in here as well. Now this one will get cleaved a little because I've got it so close to the walls. But let's do it to it. We still got lots of DU left. And we'll come over here and build it out as well. I think I'm just going to go ahead and build it out right up here on the ledge. And we can hit the bads coming in. Now this, of course, is with some defense range stats. Defense power. Like I said, I'm not... I am way overpowered for this particular map. However, it is the highest campaign difficulty we have, and more importantly, I just wanted to show off the map. Now, for those in DD2, we're used to hot swapping during combat phase. You cannot swap heroes during combat phase. However, you can use your hero deck to swap out heroes during the build phase, so that's going to allow you to build the map out properly and quickly. Being able to swap heroes is without a doubt a huge quality of life, particularly while you're building and not having to constantly run back to the forge to get everything swapped out. Now we see my just absurdly low run speed. That is because this rock pet, you all remember the rock from DD1. The rock in DDA has the chance to roll just phenomenal stats. However, it does decrease your movement speed. So let's go ahead and get some upgrades in, and then let's focus over here on this double lane area and check out this lightning tower in action. Get a couple of ups on it. Let's just go ahead and let it fly here, and we will just wreck it up. Now here I am fighting the mobs back when I wanted to show the lightning tower. Now, obviously everybody that plays DD1 is very familiar with the lightning tower. DD2 fans will not be familiar with the lightning tower if they have not played DD1, and it is just super cool. If you like a Tesla type tower or a shock tower in your tower defense games, this could be the one you want. Now sadly, I think my flame burst may be too beast. I think I'm actually even going to sell them or move them back. I think I'll just sell them. Let's just go with the lightning tower, and I will DPS this lane. I wanted to show the lightning tower off, as it's just cool. It chains around to different targets. It's definitely a super fun defense to use, and you know, fun, of course, is what it's all about, right? Now, you are going to want to be careful for any elemental affinity on an enemy. Now, what this is, it's going to make the it's going to make the mob immune to that particular damage type. Let's find a mob with some elemental affinity. I'm not seeing any in this pack. Oh, there was one right there. And sadly, he died. It shows a little icon of the element that the mob is immune to over their head. There's various ways to strip this elemental immunity. However, you do want to be conscious of it, as it can ruin your day, particularly in those higher waves in survival mode. Wave 4 is just about wrapped up. We got 27 mobs left, and we see like this mob, for example, the little Gobu right in the front. He's got that tiny little lightning bolt. The other one has got a tiny little flame next to it. That means that those mobs are immune to lightning and flame respectively. We saw the little green skull over that mob's head. That means that that mob is immune to any poison. And you want to pay attention to this. As I mentioned, there is ways to strip it off. I'm using the Strength Drain Aura. It does a great job and has amazing coverage, particularly after you get some range in. Now we've got an Ogre coming. He's going to be coming from... Is he coming from over here? I don't see him. Or is it not going to tell us? No, he's coming from right up there. We see the Ogre right up top. This Ogre should just get wrecked by these Flame Burst Towers. My main complaint, I think, about Dungeon Defenders Awakened is it's just a short, limited beta. We don't get a whole lot of access to the game to really explore it and find out all the ins and outs of the game. Now, obviously, they want to save that for us for launch time. However, I am still extremely grateful to finally get a look at DDA, as, you know, we've all been chomping at the bit to play it for quite some time. We've got 100 mobs left. Here comes the Gobus and the Archers. We'll just let them get burned up by these flame bursts. Let's slap down a little tower boost on this lightning tower and just let it just go crazy, tearing up mobs. Oh my gosh. Now, as I mentioned, I do like DD1's flavored of Tower Boost Monk better than the one we have in DDA. However, you can't deny the power. If we can get used to using this ability regularly, it is just super, super strong. Let's go ahead and slap another one down and watch these towers just scream. We see prior it's hitting for 181. Afterwards, let's find a freshie mob. I'm going to have to tower boost again. Let's see what it's hitting for with the tower boost active. That little kobold is not going to have it. It looks like we may not get the opportunity, as I believe all 33 of the remaining mobs are going to come out of that lane. Oh no, we got more. Let's go ahead and give it a tower boost. The tower boost is going to sit right there. And you see 353, so it went from 181 damage per tick to 353 damage per tick. So it is very, very nice, and I am not spec'd into it at all, as this is 100% a builder monk that I just happen to be playing actively. But there is a taste of one of the new maps coming in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. That is the Ancient Mines on Insane Mode. So thank you all so much for watching. I will be live again today, grinding out some DDA, and I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you all an absolute ton. Make sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders in all of its flavors and forms. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.